Hi, welcome to Turnips and Tornadoes. If you've been here before, welcome back.
Yes.
This is your first time. We're so glad you came to join us.
Thank you.
Hope you will enjoy it. I'm Joanne.
I'm Dan. I'm the guy that does the dishes and your assistant, right?
Oh, you do more than that.
I do whatever I'm told. What are we making today? What's cooking?
Today we're going to make granola.
Oh, good.
Yeah, there's lots of granola blends available in the stores.
A lot of it very, very sweet and sugary, and this is not necessarily health food.
No, but way better.
Yeah.
It's way better, and that's good just to be way better. I bought some at Thanksgiving. We had lots of people in our house, and I always make some granola for our grandchildren, and I wasn't able to get around to it. So I bought two good, expensive kinds of granola for them to have. They love to have their yogurt and granola.
Yeah.
And both of them were not good. They were so sweet, it felt like eating a...
Higher, less healthy. Grandkids didn't like it.
They didn't like it. I didn't like it. I threw one bag away already.
Wow.
Probably getting ready to throw the other one away.
Okay,
Yeah.
so let's get started.
Get started? Okay. I would like you to go ahead and measure out 4 cups of oats in here. You're probably going to run out, and I've got some more right behind us.
Does any kind of oats work?
Well, my favorite, I don't think quick oats would work really. You can put them inside there and dip it out.
Oh, okay.
It's probably the easier way. I think, to me, my favorite are old-fashioned oats. I don't think I'd want the chopped up oats. You sure don't want to have steel-cut oats. That would not be good.
But yet, that's your favorite oat.
I do like that, and for breakfast we eat I'll just say it's Bob's Red Mill oatmeal. I don't tend to use it. They are so expensive. I love them for breakfast, but I don't waste it in granola because granola turns out really good with this. I think this is Quaker Oats. Works out just fine. So
we have an enterprising young son that in the day was quite the rock climber, and I guess he was in high school or whatever, and he would hang out with his rock climbing buddies, and so they would you would make him granola because he'd be gone all day, wanted something to eat, and then his friends...
And enough to share.
Yeah, his friends kind of caught wind of it, and you became quite popular in the rock climbing area here in Oklahoma.
Well...
In his circles.
In his circle, and they asked me if they said they would offer to pay for my granola. I wasn't... At that time, I had a full-time job and all that night, so I couldn't do that. But yeah, was that 4 cups?
I believe so.
Okay.
I'm pretty confident.
I thought it was 3. Okay, I believe you. I believe you.
Yeah.
Okay, so now go ahead and very roughly chop these.
Roughly?
Roughly means not very small. Yeah.
Okay. So you don't want real small pieces.
I do not want real small because I'm afraid they might burn in the oven if they're too small. And I'm going to throw in some salt. I'm going to do a little, maybe about a ½ teaspoon of salt.
½ teaspoon of salt.
Yeah. And I'm going to throw in, this is a ½ teaspoon of cinnamon. I may go a little bit more of that. Of course, cinnamon's good for blood pressure issues, so that's a good thing. So there we go. And... okay, that's good enough. Go ahead and throw those in.
Okay.
And mix that up pretty good for me. So that's our oats, our nuts. So this is about a cup of about a cup of walnuts and about a ½ cup of pecans. You can do any nuts. They're raw nuts. They need to be raw. I had some toasted. I didn't choose to use those because they're going to be baked in the oven. They would probably get too, if not burnt, they would just be too dried out. It's got the salt. It's got the cinnamon. Okay, good
Smell
job.
that cinnamon.
Now this is a ½ cup of, since it's winter time, I had to melt my coconut oil. It gets kind of hard in the summer. Go ahead and pour this over and rake out every bit of that. And then I'm choosing, and you could do a ½ cup of the coconut oil, but instead I'm going to do a ¼ cup of the coconut oil and a ¼ cup of unsweetened applesauce. And the thing with granola is that you want it to come out to be a very dry consistency.
But not too dry though, right?
You want it pretty darn dry.
You want it pretty dry.
That's, yeah, absolutely. Just think of cereal. If you open a package of commercial cereal,
Right.
it's totally dry. Yeah. That's what we want. So a 1/4 cup, we're going to replace half of the oil with 1/4 cup of applesauce. Then I am going to add in 1/2 cup of honey. Yeah, that's good. You can also do 1/2 cup of maple syrup instead. And I'm going to spray my cup so that the honey will come out a whole lot easier.
Alrighty.
Otherwise,
so far not too bad, right?
It's a really easy recipe. I think the most difficult part with granola is getting the right degree of dryness of it in the oven, because you can certainly burn it.
Are you preheating your oven right now?
Oven's preheated at 350.
Preheat your oven 350.
Yep.
Mix yet?
Yeah, let's go ahead and add this. We might as well do it all.
So how much of honey?
1/2 cup,
Okay.
which is quite a bit, but it won't be real sweet. And you put that in. See how it comes out because of the oil?
Yeah.
That makes it come out so much better. Let me borrow that just a minute.
Sure.
You might get that big old spoon now, too, because we want this. Yeah, we're going to mix it in there. And let's see what else we want. We're going to put 1 teaspoon of vanilla in it. And you'll want to mix this vanilla in there. Get it mixed in, because we don't want 1 teaspoon to soak into one little area of it. That would be.
Did you know that in the day there was a lawsuit over granola?
No. Tell me.
All right. I kind of looked it up here, and here's what it said.
You tell me. And
James Caleb Jackson, he mixed up some flour, some graham flour, and he baked it. Second part of this is Dr. John Harvey Kellogg.
Oh, that's familiar.
Yeah. Well, he took it a step further. All right. He made a mixture of oatmeal, wheat flour, cornmeal, and
cornmeal.
That's what Mr. Kellogg did. Went to court, and because of that, Kellogg had to change his name from Granula to Granola. So,
oh my goodness.
So anyway, that was it, and by 1899, Kellogg, 1899, he was selling 4 tons per month.
Wow.
So anyway, that's the story of James Caleb Jackson. Kind of started it, but didn't maybe have the complete recipe. Kellogg, who took it a step further, closer to what we have today. And then the two went to court. Lawyers got involved.
Wow, of course.
And I don't think they paid off in granola. Anyway, so Kellogg apparently lost. He had to change the name to Granola or Granola, and there you have it.
Interesting. Who would have thought?
I
Wow. Wow. That's interesting. Okay, so you want to thoroughly mix it to where you feel like every piece of oatmeal and every nut, and you can also put seeds in this. I chose not to put seeds in it this time.
What kind of seeds would you put in here?
Well, you could put sesame seeds, I'm
Sunflower
sure.
seeds, maybe?
Sunflower seeds, which I kind of think more like a nut, but it really is a seed.
Yeah.
You'd want unsalted, of course. But you want to make sure that every bit of it's got some of that in it. And you'll notice this is a really small batch. I used to triple and quadruple.
I remember the kitchen table.
I would have the whole kitchen table
covered in
full
wax
of it.
paper.
Yes, because I then keep it in the freezer. I don't keep it. I've heard people say it can last for 2 weeks on the countertop. I never gave it a chance. I just kept it in the freezer, because when you take it out of the freezer, you can eat it immediately. It's not like you have to wait to eat it. Okay, you keep that right there. I'm going to bring over a tray. I use a parchment paper to keep it from sticking too bad.
You love parchment paper.
I do love parchment paper.
She orders this stuff.
Yeah, by the 100 sheets. And I love this kind of pre-cut, because the other kind that's in a roll, man.
It's hard to get the width you need.
It is, and then
So,
so this is much better. Yes, please.
All right.
You can just dump the whole thing.
Okay.
And then we'll spread it out.
We're making granola.
And I use this, we use this mostly on granola, on a yogurt. We'll get a dairy-free yogurt.
Yeah.
And you can make a yogurt parfait with it, all kinds of goodness. We don't use it as a bowl of cereal, but you could. Some people do. But
cool.
That seemed a little extravagant. Okay, just spread that out as much as you can without getting all the parchment.
We didn't tell people, like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. That's how this channel is going to grow. That's how we know that what we're doing, maybe something you're interested in. You've got something that you are interested in her making. Let us know, because, or maybe you have something else that you add to your granola that has been, your family likes and enjoys.
And I would love to get any recipe that is one of your family favorites or something. I never turn down anyone when they ask for a recipe of something I make. I never turn people down. That's how you get good recipes, is person to person.
And then you take recipes and you tweak them and kind of make them your own.
Yeah.
Because everybody would make this probably a little bit different. But you like to tweak it?
Yep, I do. All right, and this is it. We're going to put it in our preheated 350 oven, and we're going to let it cook for 15 minutes. We'll come back then, and we'll show you what we're going to stir it. We'll show you when we come back.
Smells good.
How about that? Yeah.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Were you calling me honey?
Definitely.
Oh, thanks, honey.
All right, I think this is probably ready. Oh yeah, it's nice and brown. Now when it's done, it will still look, it'll get drier as it sits out and cools. See how much the color has changed? And I did have to go ahead and take it out and stir it several times. With granola, I know I have a recipe for it, but it just kind of depends. You never know how long it's going to take. So you just have to keep checking it. And Mr. Meteorologist, would the weather sometimes make it be different to how fast it, because basically you're just drying it out. It's not like a cake where you do it for a certain amount of time. You're just trying to dry out this granola, these oats and all that stuff.
Well, there's moisture in the air and it's constantly changing. Dew point value is how we measure that.
There you go.
And so the more moist it is, then the longer it would take to dry out. On a hot, dry day, or even a cold day with low dew point values, it would certainly dry out a little bit faster. Just like in the wintertime,
That makes sense.
you use more lotion, you use more chapstick because the air is very, very dry.
There you go.
So,
It's
there you go.
helpful to have a meteorologist in the house.
That's right. Except when you ask me the forecast on the days off, and then I say,
You don't like that.
I don't know.
So don't just go by any recipe about granola. Just keep checking it until it's, and see, it looks pretty dry, but it'll dry even more as it sits here. And we'll come back and talk about the fruit that we add to it. Okay, our granola has cooled off.
You grabbed a little bit of it here?
Yes, I did. Yes, I did. The recipes mostly that I've seen say to mix your dried fruits in with your granola, but I have found that there's moisture in these even though they're dried. If we had freeze dried, that might would work.
Interesting.
But if you're using dried like we have, this draws some of the little bit of moisture that's left in these and it makes these soggy. So I keep my granola and my dried fruit separate. Would you put a little bit of each of those in this bowl?
Sure.
And then we'll put them in a freezer container and if we're going to eat it right away, we don't need to freeze it. If we're going to kind of go for a while, we will go ahead and freeze them.
So it's really your choice, what you like, what's available.
Yes.
Get an amount and mix them in.
Yeah. I love apricot. See, feel how much moisture is in that apricot.
I really won't be able to tell unless I eat it.
You better eat it.
Oh, all the moisture in there.
And so that's going to really make your granola not good. So I keep it separate. And if we were getting ready to go on a hike or something, at that point I would go ahead and mix them. But I would not keep the dried fruits in there for very long at all. Just a little bit.
Dried wild blueberries.
Yeah.
And
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Yeah.
And we also just put in some
Cherries.
sweetened dried cherries
Gotcha.
and some dried cranberries.
So just whatever. And I find that with these apricots, I like to just cut them with the scissors. Is easier than a fork because they're kind of sticky.
You like that?
Yeah, I think that's great. Okay, so we are going to mix it up. And also if you keep them separate, lots of times we have fresh fruits in the refrigerator and you can that way use fresh fruit instead with the granola.
Good
And
idea.
that's a good thing too. Okay, I've dipped us out a little bit of yogurt here.
Okay.
We're going to put a little bit of the dried berries in it so we can try this. And a little bit of the apricots, and then here's how we like it. We just sprinkle some granola on top. This also makes a fantastic granola parfait. Go ahead and try it. See what you think.
There we go. A little of this, a little of that.
Yeah, it's a little full there.
Yeah, it's okay. I'll let my bride taste it first.
Very good.
Very good.
Very good. So much better than the store-bought.
Oh
It's a
my
lot of
goodness.
trouble. It's a lot. It takes a while to make it. I think it's well worth it.
Because you can make a big batch
Yes.
and freeze it.
Absolutely. Since it's just the two of us, that's probably gonna last us for a couple of months.
Yeah.
But if you have a family,
If our children ever came and visited, though, it'd go pretty fast.
they do.
They do. I'm messing with you. Hey, we appreciate you watching. Thanks for joining us, maybe for coming back. But please don't forget, so this channel can grow, to hit the like button. Pretty easy. Subscribe to the channel, and if you wish, notification bells. That way when we upload new videos, you'll know about it. And again, this is really good.
Yeah, not so sweet.
Yeah, you did good, baby.
Nah, I'm good. You good stuff.
All right, you guys take care. Thanks for watching.
Thank you. See you later.